All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and also to their elders, the men that taught them. I pray the Lord have peace, blessings, and mercy upon the households of the hopeful elect. This is the brother Shema One from the Great Millstone Houston Church. And real quick, I want to come with a lesson, just meditating on a few things earlier. And just to put the cherry on top, I was listening to the elder brother Micah Allah out in LA, and he was hitting some of the same points that I was meditating about earlier. So, you know, the spirit is still hot. So I want to get into it. And, you know, it comes from just meditating on part where we're going to see the glory and the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai protect us, just like in the days of I'm thinking about it, just like in the times of Moses. Where is it? Whenever it said hold up real quick, Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. Hold up. Exodus 11 and verse 4, it says, and Moses said, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it any more. Verse 7, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, doth put a difference between the Egyptian and Israel. And that's the point. We're going to see that the Lord's elect are going to witness the difference that the Lord is going to put in between the non-elect, the unfaithful, the mockers, the scoffers, the wicked, the false prophets. Is going to be a difference between them and the Lord's elect. Those that stay still and remain faithful to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Ultimately, that's the point. That's the point. All right. And the Lord's elect, the only way out is having faith in the Lord. Physically, we can't do anything to deliver ourselves. Our faith is going to be what the Lord is coming back to get, which is us. Like it says, when the Lord comes back, where shall he find faith? Amongst the Lord's elect. But just it made me think about that earlier, meditating on how the Lord told Moses in Exodus 14 and verse, let's see, Exodus 14 and 13, it says, hold up, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And at that point, there's nothing to do. You know, physically, you can't do anything. That's the part where, in just applying it to how it is in this time, how it's going to be, we're going to have to sit back and let the Lord do, you know, what he said he was going to do. All right. You know, the working is right now. You know, the work's putting in, getting ready, you know, building up. All of that is being done right now. You know, we are redeeming the times right now. All right. How does it say? Make you ready to the battle. All of that is in effect now. Then the time is gonna come where you're gonna have to stand still. Literally, there's gonna be nothing to do. As far as what can you physically, what physically can you do, man? It's gonna be the glory of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai being revealed and manifest during that time, of salvation. But back to the point, or back to the verse, Exodus 14 and 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians, it says, for the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. And the Lord destroyed the Egyptians. Just like Moses said, hey, those words were faithful and true. All right. The Lord revealed what he was going to do before it happened unto Moses. And Moses believed in it. And he relayed the message to the Israelites because Jake was fucking bugging. Imagine seeing the Egyptians come up on you and they getting closer and you have nowhere to go. But mind you, the Lord has been delivering you. We read in verse 11, the Lord already put up, made a difference between the Israelites and the Egyptians. The Israelites didn't get touched. All right. The Egyptians did. But now at the end, when it's time to be ultimately delivered out of the hands of the Egyptians, it was like the biggest hurdle to get across, where there's nothing we can do. We just have to remain faithful. All right. Thinking about how the scriptures say in Isaiah, hold on, let me go to it in my Bible. How it says in Isaiah the 59th chapter though, real quick. Isaiah chapter 59 in verse 19, it says, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai shall lift up a standard against him. See, the Lord is going to intervene. All right, divine intervention. What we believe in right now, what we put our trust in right now, the day is going to come where there's going to be nothing to do but remain faithful. All right. The standard, or how did it say again? It says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. All right. When a flood comes through, just imagine it like an actual flood. A flood comes through, it sweeps your ass up. It takes you away. That's how the enemy is coming. Knowing that they have a short time and they're targeting the Israelites. And more so of a target, it tells you in Revelation who the ultimate target is amongst the nation of Israel. Let me read that real quick. Revelation 12 and 17. It says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. See, that's coming. That is coming. How it says the dragon was wroth with the woman. Esau is coming in like a flood, man, sparing none. All right, like the scriptures say, but the focus is gonna be beamed and dialed and really set on the Lord's remnant, the ones that fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, keep his commandments. Or as it says, keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. But back in Isaiah, let me go back to it. Isaiah 59 in verse 19 again. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Many people are going to get taken away by that. But the only way to withstand that is how? The Spirit of the Lord is going to lift up a standard, bro. And what is that going to look like? We don't know. We just have faith in what the scriptures say. When that time comes, we have faith that the Lord is going to do something. And that's all it is. Just remaining faithful with the will of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, then that's what sums it up. We are faith-based. We're faith-based. You know how Israel got delivered out the hands of the Egyptians? It started with faith. You know, Moses had to believe in those things. He had to keep doing the works to show his faith, and look how physical it got. You know, it came through and it was certain. And that's the same message today. You know, our faith is gonna lead to, it's going to get physical, and we're physically gonna see these things take place like we already do now. You know, the truth is already spreading. That we already see that take place. That's the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. That's the spirit of the Lord working and moving. And it's already present in the earth, but it's gonna shift and be a defense for us, just like it is now, but it's gonna be physical, man. You know, but that was just on my spirit, you know, meditating how the Lord's not taking us, you know, away from the evils and the troubles. He's gonna be a defense where we're gonna be able to get through it. Standards are going to be lifted for the Lord's elect, man. All right. Like it says, because you kept the word of my patience, the Lord will also keep you from the hour of temptation. You know? But that was it. Nothing too long. Just something that was hot on my spirit. Like I said, the elder brother, Micah Allah, hit the same precept. And I was like, yeah, you know, that's the spirit. So I went it there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the Lord's elect. Matter of fact, yeah, that was it. Until the next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.